Will Marvel's Sabra character be Israeli or not? At the day of making this video, it's hard to tell. But one thing I do know, that is not how we Israelis say it. Speaking about native Israelis in English outside of Israel, you've likely heard the term Sabra being tossed around. But how do Israelis and Hebrew speakers use it? And how does this term link to the cactus and the very essence of the land of Israel? Today, we're going to peel off the fascinating layers of nature, culture, and language, painting a vivid picture of what it truly means to be a Sabra. If you're new around here, my name is Inbal from Hebrew by Inbal, and I get English speakers to thrive in Hebrew. If that's something that sounds like a dream to you, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll get notified every time I post a new video and lesson, and check out my programs in the description. In Hebrew, sabal refers to the common cactus plant you can find in Israel, which originates from the US, and scientifically called a term I will definitely butcher, simply put, prickly pear. The enticing fruit of this cactus is commonly and colloquially known in Israel as sabres. By simply shifting the syllable emphasis from sabal, referring to the cactus, to sabal, both written the same in Hebrew, we land on the Hebrew term for a native Israeli. Yes, a person born and raised on this historic land. This Hebrew word changes based on gender and number. A born Israeli male is a sabal. A born Israeli female is a sabarit. More than one born Israeli male are sabarim. More than one born Israeli female are sabariot. My course graduates and students already know all these suffixes and how to use them across different words in Hebrew. If you also want to have a deep understanding of how Hebrew works that will allow you to speak like a local from day one, join me inside Practically Speaking Hebrew. The link is in the description. What is prickly on the outside but sweet on the inside? If you guessed an Israeli or a cactus, you're absolutely right. This nickname of the Sabra cactus captures the essence of the Israeli spirit. Tough, resilient, and self-reliant on the outside, yet warm and sweet on the inside, with a never-give-up spirit. The comparison to the prickly pear cactus, with its hardy exterior and juicy interior, reflects the unique blend of toughness and tenderness that characterizes Israelis. The Sabra cactus, and by extension the Israeli character it represents, is a testament to the ability to not just survive, but thrive in challenging environments. We're talking about a cactus armed with thorns that are so painfully sharp that Arabs historically leveraged its prickly defense, planting sabra around their agricultural lands as a natural barricade to deter thieves and unwanted visitors. The thorns, found on both its fleshy leaves and the fruit, serve as the cactus's protection mechanism against harm. The Hebrew name traces back to the Arabic sabal, signifying patience, reflecting the cactus's low water needs. This name beautifully encapsulates the cactus's resilience and ability to thrive with minimal sustenance, mirroring the enduring spirit found both in the plant and symbolically in the Israeli ethos. Some say that the Hebrew word sabal comes from the Hebrew root tzadi bet resh, meaning to accumulate or retain, referring to its ability to retain water. But this theory is said to be incorrect, as accumulated or retained uses a bet with no dagesh, saval, whereas our cactus uses a bet with a dagesh, sabal, the aliyah story of this cactus. Originally from the Americas, where it's widespread among the cactus family, this resilient plant likely had its distribution center in Mexico. There, as we know very well, it's not just a plant, it's a national symbol, proudly featured on the country's coat of arms. In the 16th century, Spanish conquerors transported the sabra across the ocean to Spain, from where it wandered to various parts of the world, including the land of Israel. The exact moment of its aliyah, settling in Israel, is shrouded in mystery, but it's clear that it has since become a common sight. Are the Sabal and the Israeli really the same? The term Sabra, has undergone significant transformations, reflecting the evolving identity of the Israeli society and the political use of the term by the Zionist movement. Initially used to praise the new Jew created by the movement and to negate the diaspora identity, the Sabal contrasted sharply with the old Jew, who was born in the diaspora and often stereotyped as an elitist or of materialistic values. Unlike the old Jew, who spoke European languages, Yiddish, or Hebrew with a very heavy accent, the Sabra was a native Hebrew speaker, embodying the Zionist ideal of a self-reliant agricultural worker or soldier actively defending their land and contributing to the building of the state. The prestige of the Sabra, particularly in terms of its typical appearance and the use of the nickname, peaked during and after the War of Independence, Milchemet Ha'atzmaut, in 1948. Older generations of Israelis tended to attribute the achievements of the war to the native-born Israelis, the Tsabarim. The heroism associated with the Sabra was further emphasized in the narrative surrounding Operation Kadesh, Mivtza Kadesh, in 1956. However, the large wave of immigration of Jews from Arab countries in the 1950s, the penetration of Western culture, American in particular, and the social and political changes following the Six-Day War, Milchemet Sheshet Hayamim, and the Yom Kippur War, Milchemet Yom Kippur, began to challenge the heroic myth of the Sabra from the 1970s onward. The term state generation, Dor HaMedina, was coined for the new wave of Israelis who came of age in the 1950s and did not participate in the independence struggle. Over time, Israeli society became less tribal and more individualistic. These changes eroded the Sabra model and replaced it with a more global, post-Sabra model centered around the figure of the Yuppie, also referred to by Israelis in Hebrew as Yuppie. The post-Sabra is more global, multicultural, blending genders, ethnicities, social classes, religions, and styles. And the term Sabra was replaced by the more neutral Israeli, in Hebrew, Israeli, as the main term for natives of the State of Israel, reflecting the post-Sabra individual. Today, the term Israeli is widely used to refer to anyone from Israel, this being the masculine form. Just like with Sabra, the word changes based on gender and number, so that a male Israeli is Israeli, a female Israeli is Israelit. More than one male Israelis are Israelim, and more than one female Israelis is Israeliot. Inside Practically Speaking Hebrew, my conversational course, you learn all these patterns, allowing you to do it yourself, matching the right prefix and suffix to the right word. Today's Israeli encompasses the diverse array of backgrounds and identities within the country, including Israeli Arabs and people of various religions and beliefs, all Israelis. Tzabar, Sabra, remains a meaningful term often used to inquire whether a person was born in Israel. Together, these terms reflect the evolving tapestry of Israeli society, embracing its rich diversity while also honoring its roots and heritage. Now, I want to say that while I personally am not particularly fond of the sabres fruit, I encourage you to give it a taste whenever you get the chance because most people absolutely love it. The sabra fruit, also known as prickly pear or cactus pear, is a unique and flavorful fruit. There is a method to peeling it and staying alive because its exterior is covered in spiny thorns, as I already mentioned, which contrast with the sweet and refreshing flesh inside. Some describe its flavor as a mix of watermelon and kiwi with subtle hints of pear. And it's not only delicious, but also packed with nutrients like vitamin C, fiber, and antioxidants. So whenever you get the chance, I encourage you to explore and experience the rich flavors of this iconic fruit for yourself. Who knows, you might just discover a new favorite fruit. If you like this video, please show your appreciation by clicking the like button. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos and lessons in Hebrew. And please share this video with 3 other people who would love it just as much as you do. If you haven't checked out my playlist, I've organized them based on goals. So whether you want to focus on speaking, reading and writing, learning Hebrew with songs, you'll find a designated playlist for each one right here on my YouTube channel. Go to playlists, check them out, and let me know in the comments your thoughts and feedback on this video. נתראה בסרטון הבא. See you in the next video.